Hi, this is Mona from Unscripted Tarot Together. Wanted to do a collective new moon reading for the new moon in Gemini, which is actually coming up tomorrow. I'm recording this on Saturday. I'll post it for us to be released Sunday morning. If you notice, I'm using a different deck. This is actually called the After Tarot deck. Once again, it is based on the Rider-Waite. Okay, and look who's on the bottom of our deck. We have the King of Swords. Very interesting. So let's go ahead. Once again, this is Mona from Unscripted Tarot Together. This is a new moon reading in Gemini. And remember, new moons are basically about releasing energy, what we need to release. And this is going to be a collective reading. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to draw a couple of cards here. The first card I want is collectively our energy. Where are we collectively right now? So let's get a card that defines where we are collectively right now. And when I talk about collectively, I talk about the collective unconscious, our population as a whole on the earth. So we're trying to, okay, this is the card. We are the Five of Pentacles. Okay, so we feel like we're being left out in the cold, which in America, and I would say in a lot of parts of the world, this is the way people are feeling right now. They are feeling left out in the cold. And let's look at the card. So we have people huddling. This represents a church. So it represents there is higher wisdom. There is a way to go. But right now, we are not seeing it at this point. We are in a state and an energetic state of feeling left out in the cold, which very much is what this card depicts. Okay, so that's our current collective energy. We're going to put that right up at the top. The next card I want to clarify. So our next card that we want to know about is, what do we need to release? Because we always know that a new moon is about releasing. So what intention, what do we need to release in order to move forward? And this is the card here that wants to come out, and it's the Knight of Cups. Okay, what is the Knight of Cups about? Knights are always about a gift. Cups are about emotions. So we need to release our emotions right now in order to move forward. So any emotions that we have about being left out in the cold, our work is to release them, or at least to neutralize them. Okay, that's the way I would read those two cards together. So let's get our third card here. Let's see what, if we do this, if we are able to release our emotional energy that's keeping us stuck in this energetic, where are we going to go from here? I'm going to put that card here. So if we're able to do that, what happens then? We get a healing. We get the Star card. Okay, let's cover her up. There we go. There we go. We are a family-friendly channel. So we get a Star card. The Star card is a card of healing. She's in her emotional self. She's in her emotional energy. And she's basically healing from energy that is no longer serving her. So if we're able to let this go, we move into a healing energy collectively. That's a good place to be. Okay, what happens if we're not able to do that? Let's find out what happens down here if we're not able to move in the direction and let our emotional energies that are not serving us go, or at least getting them to neutral. What happens then? and we get what's called the Architect card. This is the Three of Pentacles. So if we're not able to do that, we move into a Three of Pentacles. Well, what would that mean in this position? To me, that means that if we're not able to do this, now we move from a Five of Pentacles to a Three of Pentacles. But this Three of Pentacles is we're going to be creating the same scenario that we had here if we're not able to let go of things. So that is the way I would read the new moon. This is if we're able to let go of the emotions. This is if we're able to not let go of the emotions. So if we're able to let go, we move into a nice healing energy. If we're not able to let go of our emotions, we move in and we create the same thing that we've created before. Same energy that's going to leave us out in the cold. Same structures that are going to leave us out into the cold. Same that's gonna keep us here in a energetic wheel, so to speak, that's not moving us in any direction. So that is what I have in terms of the new moon and Gemini reading as a collective reading. This is our task. This is our work. Do we want to clarify anything? Is there anything that we want to clarify? I would like to clarify this just simply because what am I creating if I don't let go of this stuff? What kind of world am I going to be creating for myself? So what was on the bottom of the deck is the Seven of Cups, which is kind of a cup of illusions and delusions and choices. But you can see each one of the cups holds something different, and we don't really know. We can see what they are, but we don't know what that means for us. So that's bottom of the deck. As I shuffle, so our question is, if we're not able to move and we're building something the same, what is it that we end up building the same? How does this not serve us? Okay, so we get the Queen of Pentacles. That's interesting. This can be like a stagnant energy. You notice how she's just focusing on the pentacle? So maybe we just focus on money and nothing else. We don't really see any other value. Okay, we've got the Five of Wands is a conflictual energy. It's not a lot of conflict, but there's a lot of heated. I always think of this as a heated discussion card. Okay, everybody wanting their way, pushing and bullying to get their way. Okay, that's the way, and that's basically the way I see the current energy, especially politically, that's going on with our current administration. So if you're not able to move and change our energetic blueprint, so to speak, we're going to keep things the same, and it's going to be, we're going to keep focusing on money, and we're going to keep having fights about money. Okay, that's the way I read this in terms of who we don't move out of this current energy. That's what I have for the new moon reading. If you like the way I read, please give us a thumbs up. If you have any comments about what you see in this reading collectively, where we are as a collective energy on the earth, do leave it in the comments section. I would really love to hear what you have to say about this, because I think it affects so many people in our world and in our life right now that I always like to hear new things from people. We would certainly like to grow the channel, so if you could thumbs up and subscribe, we would really appreciate that. And if you want to email either Jen or myself, our email is unscripted.tarottogether@gmail.com. And I want to say goodbye for now. I hope you have a wonderful new moon in Gemini for yourself. Bye.